Hey everybody! Happy Wednesday and welcome to my Facebook Live. I am live from Sherwood, Wisconsin, where it is very rainy and cold. It's definitely sweater weather. I'm just getting my tablet set up here so I can see comments. There we go. Hello, Wanda. Hello, Chriselle. Glad you guys could join me. So today was an exciting day for Stampin' Up lovers. Whoops, I'm knocking things over here. We have got the last chance lists available. So it's exciting and it's sad at the same time because now we know all of these things that are going to go away. So if you're a customer, I just want to emphasize that things go fast. I also want to tell you that stamp sets, because Stampin' Up manufactures them themselves, usually the stamp sets don't sell out. They'll make them like right up until the end. But anything that is consumable like paper, ribbon, any of the dyes that are manufactured overseas, generally once they sell out, they won't be placing any more orders for those things, especially now in the area of COVID where it's taking forever to get things through our ports. So just know that if there's something that you're wanting and you know it's going to go away, you may want to jump on and grab that because it may be gone. For example, with our beautiful butterfly paper that just sold out in like 17 days, that was very sad and a lot of people were disappointed, but it happens. So with that, I want to share a little bit of happy mail that I got this week. Let's see, just keeping an eye on comments here. I got this beautiful card in the mail from my Aunt Wanda and I wanted to show it off to everybody. I love this. I think it's called a book fold, and I've actually tried to make one before and I didn't think it was that great, so I didn't show anybody, but I am planning on making one, and so hopefully you'll see this in an upcoming class. And especially now that I have one actually in my hands that I can kind of, because sometimes it's hard for me to follow instructions online, especially if I've never done it before. So, but I want to show you this beautiful, this is the Sailing Away paper. I think it was in the last catalog and it retired. And she's got like these lovely distressed edges and I love it. It almost feels like she starched it or something. And I love the ribbon detail and the thanks. And so on the inside, she used more paper with the stamp. And then this front is actually textured with one of the embossing folders. So I just wanted to show that off to everybody. I love getting happy mail and I love sharing. So yeah, beautiful card. She even used the paper on the flap of the envelope. So don't ever be afraid to do that as well. But thank you for the card. I love it. So yeah, what else do we have going on? I've been super busy with work this week, and I feel like there was all these things I was supposed to do that I didn't have time to do. But I feel like I did the important things. So this is the card that I made last week, and I did pick a winner. And I had to laugh because I used the random generator where I don't have that many names of people that watch, obviously, so I just type their name in and it just randomly picks a name. And I got Karen again. So Karen just won the card from 2 weeks ago, and so now she won the card from last week too, so I'll be sending that out to Karen. So thank you for watching, Karen. And Karen is already signed up for my Dragonfly Garden class at the end of April. So I don't think I've sent out too many details about that, but they will be coming, and it'll be 4 cards using the stamp set and the coordinating punch. And if all goes well, we're going to do that in like a, I don't know if it'll be Facebook Live or if we'll do Zoom. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens tomorrow night. I have, tomorrow night is a class with my celebration customers, and I'm doing that in the event on Facebook, and I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, so I'm just going to kind of take a wait and see attitude about that. But anyway, if you're interested, I'd love to stamp virtually with some of you, so keep an eye out for details about the Dragonfly Garden class. And then our mini catalog. These products are available. There's been some confusion because Stampin' Up! Has kind of switched dates around on us this year. So this mini catalog goes through the end of June. So it says through June 30th there. However, this last chance list that came out today, this is from our annual catalog. We're getting a new catalog, and this one ends May 3rd. Usually these two coincide together, but now they're a little bit different, so just want you to be aware that the last chance list that came out is for products in the annual catalog, and that the mini catalog products, most of them will be available until June 30th. So that is all the business I have tonight. So I think we should get to the mystery card, don't you? So I kind of wanted to have a little bit of fun with this because I did a lot of different stamping things over the weekend, and I was trying to decide what to do. And I thought, since that butterfly paper, I'm just pulling my hair up because it's in my face. I thought since that butterfly paper retired and there was some disappointment about that, I don't want anybody to feel like the stamp set and dies are totally useless without that beautiful coordinating paper. So I made a big stack of cards using simply the stamp set and the dies. So I wanted to show you some of these. And then I was doing a technique with watercoloring that I haven't done in a really long time, and I thought, I'm going to show them how to do it. And I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but if some of you know, let me know. And otherwise we can like research it or make up our own name. I'm fine with either one. So I've got this beautiful stamp set here. It's very dirty because I've done a lot of things with it. It is covered in Versamark. It's kind of sticky. I couldn't get it 100% clean. But you know what? A well-used stamp is a loved stamp. So I'm not worried about it. It still works perfectly fine. And so what I did was, I think I've showed you this card before. I just stamped these butterflies as a background and just made it look great. And I actually took my blending pen and I blended the ink a little bit, so it looks like the butterflies are colored, but it's just very subtle because I just blended the ink a little bit after I stamped it and before it dried completely. So, hi Karen. Oh yeah, you sure are lucky. Congratulations. So for this card, let's see. This one's kind of fancy, but I stamped in the background again. And then I had stamped a whole bunch of butterflies and I cut them out with the dies. And I wanted a big pop of color. So, and I colored it with, again, with my blending pen and my Magenta Madness, I think it is. And then other cards, I made this one. I think some of you probably saw this on my page. But what this actually is it's embossed with black embossing powder. And then what I did was I used the dies, and I used the one big die that cuts out all of the butterflies. And I took a sponge and I sponged ink over them instead of coloring them all separately. And so now I've got this beautiful stencil that I can use to do some more stenciling as a background. So I thought that was a great idea. And then another thing that I did was I took the stamp and I masked off all of these butterflies here with, I think I did this. And then I used Post-it notes to cover up all these other butterflies, so I only got ink on that one. So I just stamped the one butterfly, and this is watercolor paper. And then I could watercolor him. And again, he turned out gorgeous. I even took, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I took the Wink of Stella, so he's kind of shimmery. So yeah, beautiful. Hi, Michelle. Glad you could join me. And then I embossed these, and again, this is watercolor paper. So this one I embossed with the clear embossing powder, and it ended up turning white because it's on white paper. But this is watercolor paper, and I just brushed the ink all over the watercolor paper. And that's kind of what led me to this next technique that I hadn't done for a while. And it kind of got that ombre look. And so this one I used 3 different color inks to kind of smush the ink around. And so that's what I want to show you tonight. And here's one more. And now these are all embossed on watercolor paper, and then I smushed the ink around. So I think they turned out beautiful. They're so colorful and summery. So what I'm gonna do is, things are gonna get a little messy up in here, but I've got lots of paper toweling and I'm gonna need it. So I'm gonna get that ready ahead of time. And I kind of like to fold it over. This is really thin paper toweling because I bought the cheap stuff. So I'm gonna have that ready, and I'm gonna move this out of the way. I don't want my beautiful cards to get wet. And then I've got, let's see. Oh, I was telling you about the mystery card. So while I'm getting my stuff ready here, I had some voting posted. And so I asked which background paper I should use for my card. And I had already decided that I was going to use this gorgeous grape because it's my favorite. And so I had asked, should I use texture or should I use the polka dots? And so the polka dots won by a landslide. And then I had asked, should I use Whisper White or Very Vanilla? And the Whisper White won by a landslide. And then I had asked, should I make a birthday card or a sympathy card? And the sympathy card won. It was almost a tie. And then I asked, should I use rhinestones or pearls? And the rhinestones won by a landslide. And then late last night, when I kind of saw how the results were going and I was thinking ahead, I had asked on Instagram, should I use the white satin ribbon or should I use the white polka dot ribbon? And the satin ribbon won by a landslide. So in my card tonight, those are the things I'm going to use. Apparently everybody loves them. So I've got the polka dot background paper. I'm going to use Whisper White, satin ribbon, and it's going to be a sympathy card. So I'm going to use With Deepest Sympathy. So for my technique here, the first thing I did, I actually did this ahead of time because I did a whole bunch of them and I had one left over. but I stamped these butterflies with the Versamark ink and the white embossing powder, and I heat embossed this. So this is watercolor paper, so it's going to be okay if it gets really wet. I'm going to grab some scrap paper here. Water is going to go flying. And I've got a sandwich bag here that I'm going to apply the ink to. I think this is called like the squishing technique or something. So basically we're going to apply the ink to the bag and then we're going to squish it on the paper. And I've done this other ways. I've done it with a block where I'll apply the ink directly to a block and then I'll squish it onto the paper. You can do it with, I've done it with window sheets. I've got window sheets that I like these. They're retired, but they have black dots printed on them, so I can kind of see what I'm doing with them. Sometimes plain window sheets just get lost in my mess because they're invisible. So I like mine with the dots on them. And then sometimes too, you can take your, this thing gets lost all the time. This is for my Stampa Jig, which is an old Stampin' Up tool that we don't sell anymore, but I still use mine all the time. And so it comes with this clear sheet, and I've applied ink to this before, and I've squished it around. So, but today I'm going to show you how to do it with a sandwich bag. So, I am going to start, I'm going to need a watercolor pen, which I thought I had one that had water in it. Oh, great. I don't have any water. And I left my water upstairs. Hold on, I'm going to perform surgery here real quick. I told you I was really busy at work today and I feel like I don't have things done ahead of time like I normally do. This job has been crazy, I'll tell you, but I found out when my last day is. I'm kind of excited. So pretty soon I will be moving on to something else. And let's see. That is just water. So I got water all over the carpet. But like I said, it's totally okay. All right. So I've got my water spritzer here. And then I've got my water, this is my water painter, which is going to water in the barrel so that we can get things nice and wet, blend ink around. And like you saw, I'm going to be using Gorgeous Grape. I'm also going to use, because I want that kind of an ombre look with the darker and the lighter. So I've got Gorgeous Grape, I've got Highland Heather, which is a little bit lighter. It's from our Subtles collection. And then I've got Purple Posy, which, if you don't remember, it's an in color from 2 years ago. And there was a manufacturing problem with the ink pad, and so they pulled it. So we don't have an ink pad. I do, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use the marker. And so I'm going to show you how to apply the ink to the sandwich bags. So first of all, I'm going to start by getting my paper wet. I want my paper wet so that I want it to just absorb a little bit before I start spreading the ink on it. So I'm just going to spritz water on my paper and let it sit for a minute. I actually want to get my sandwich bag a little bit wet too. So we'll let that sit, and then I want to start with the lightest color. And I'm going to take my marker, and I'm using the brush tip. Let's see, I don't want a crease on there. Maybe I'll use the other side. This is a brand new sandwich bag because the one that I had was so stained and dirty that I threw it out. So, and I'm just going to apply the ink like that. Just brush it right on. You want to make sure that you're covering an area that's as wide as your paper so you don't miss any spots. But otherwise, you're just going to brush it right on. And cap that when you're done. And then I like to take my ink pad and I'm going to apply this directly to the bag, just in like a downward, like that. And I got ink all over the side, and that's okay because I've got wipes. I'm just going to wipe that up. No biggie. And then this is the darkest color, and I don't want a whole lot of it, so I'm gonna be careful, but okay, a little bit more. I kind of want that middle color to be there. All right, so now I'm going to spritz my bag, but not a whole lot, just a little bit. Just kind of want to get that damp. And then I'm going to, my paper's nice and wet here, but the corner's dry, and that happens sometimes. So just make sure it's all nice and wet. And then I'm going to apply the bag right to my watercolor paper and squish. Just like that. And so now what I do before it dries is, this is where I take my aqua painter or watercolor painter, sorry, it's a water painter, and I'm just gonna blend. Because you still get, you know, gobs of ink, and you want that all nice and spread out. And it looks like it did a really good job with doing the dark to light there, but I'm going to take a little bit of that lighter ink, and I'm just going to blend a little bit more of that on there. So what I did is I applied some of that purple posy to the block, and I'm going to paint with the water right onto here so that I can blend that ink a little bit more. There we go. That's perfect. So I think it's a really fun way to get a real varied kind of look. I think it comes out looking really pretty. And if you don't want to blend it, you don't have to. I mean, if you prefer it to look really raw like that, you know, all the power to you. I just wanted mine a little bit more even. So I'm going to let that dry. And then when I'm done, I actually like to reuse these. Like I said, my other one was, all I did was I just wipe it off and let it dry, and then I throw it in my drawer. And I use it again and again and again, and then I don't have to waste sandwich bags. Because I don't really like disposable stuff. It clogs up our landfills, and I don't like it. So now I can use that again when it dries. So what do you guys think of that so far? I'm going to clean my block. All right, so now, oh, I got a little bit of ink over there too. I'm going to let that dry. And my fingers always get messy. There's just no way to avoid that. But I'm going to start with my card base, and got my bone folder here. Looks like my ends got a little jacked up. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna take my glue, I'm gonna take my glue, and I bet it's all clogged. That was something else I've been trying to remember to do before I go live, is to double check the glue, make sure it's all good. Okay, well, I've got a backup sitting here, so this is our Stampin' Seal, and after much practice, I'm a lot more comfortable with it. I don't love it, but I like it. I completely recognize that everyone has a preference as to how they like to adhere things, so I prefer the liquid glue, but I'm glad to have alternatives. So that's going to be my background, and then I'm going to let the butterflies dry a little bit more, but we will do our stamping. And I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape again. Let's stamp our sympathy. Looking for my cleaner, there it is. All right, so I'm gonna adhere. I cut out my labels so that they coordinate with each other. So I'm gonna adhere those together. And then I decided with the satin ribbon, I'm going to make a bow. So this is our not whisper white. Now it's basic white, but it is silver edged metallic ribbon, and it is so pretty. And it's probably on that list. I haven't had time to go through it because when I was done with work at 5, I had to real quick get things set up tonight, which, as you can see, I didn't do a very good job of because I had to print out my lists, plus the new catalog was available for demos to look at today, and I got kind of lost in that. So, yeah, I'm probably a little scattered tonight, and I apologize. So, Karen says, it amazes me how neat you are. That's funny. You probably can't see my hands very well, but she says she really loves the demonstration, and you are very welcome, Karen. I am glad that you're watching me tonight. It's kind of strange, but it's also like, you know, I stamp by myself all the time now, except when I'm with my mom, so at least I kind of feel like I'm talking to other people. I always wonder what my husband thinks. He's upstairs right now, and I'm sure he can hear me, and he's probably thinking, she is down there talking to herself again. So, okay, I think we've got our parts. This is our beautiful background, and I'm going to take the heat gun to this just to finish drying it, just so we can move on. I love it. As I was making all those other cards, I was like, I cannot wait to do this in purple. Purple is my favorite color. And so I'm just over the moon right now looking at this going, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. And I kind of thought it was fun because I didn't prep one ahead of time. I just wanted to kind of do this as I went. And so here you guys are with me. And doesn't it look so pretty? It's so pretty. Whoops. I love it. So yeah, I was reading the comments as I was drawing this, and Karen says that maybe we can have a party at my mom's this summer, and I was totally thinking the same. I think that it's probably time. I think that it would be totally open to whoever feels comfortable coming. I know that my mom is vaccinated now, so I feel a huge sense of relief about that. And I know that vaccines are in short supply right now, but I hope that everybody that wants one will be able to get one. So hopefully we can definitely be stamping with other people this summer. That is my dream. So, yes. Oh, Chriselle, that is so sweet. Thank you. I'm glad that you learned something from me, and I love that you are... that you're doing what you're learning, because I know that you guys always send me pictures of what you make, and that makes me really happy. So, yay! Janet says, can't go wrong with purple and butterflies. I know, right? It's the best. So do you think that I should, oh shoot, my Wi-Fi. It's probably the weather. Hang on, guys. If I go down, I'll jump back on. But do you think I should glue this straight or kind of tilted? What do you guys think? Michelle said she would love another card party at Mom's. Yes. Good. Awesome. So let me know in the comments, should I glue it on straight or should I tilt it a little bit? Let me know what you think. Michelle says tilted. While I'm waiting, I've got a piece of, here it is, I got the Whisper White for the inside, and I've got a little scrap of the purple polka dots left. I'm going to glue that at the bottom for the inside. Oh, come on. I was just saying how much I liked you, and now you're not going to work. There we go. Oh, it's a little crooked. That's why I like the liquid glue better, because sometimes you've got a second or two where you can adjust it. And this one, once it's down for good. So. Let's see. That a little big. All right, so what do we got? Oh, everybody wants it tilted. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna tilt it. And this is kind of big, but that's okay, right? So, and then we'll put the bow, maybe I'll put this on this side, and then I'll put the bow down there. Like that. I hate to cover all those beautiful butterflies, right? Let's see. I forgot to grab the rhinestones. All right. I think we're on to something here, guys. I don't need that yet. All right. Maybe we should all go to the Tilted Loon for cocktails. That's awesome. I would love that. Oh, it's so funny. This past year has been so strange for me because I have not done anything like that. I've been home. I was just talking about it with a coworker today about how it's so strange that like you think you're super dressed up when you actually like put on jeans and real shoes instead of like leggings and slippers, and you're like, wow, I'm really dressed up. It's so funny how things change in a year. So I'm gonna drop that right there. And then I've got my bow ready. Got my glue dots here. Stick that down right there. And then I've got rhinestones to finish this baby up. I love those butterflies, man. So I didn't want anybody to think that they couldn't use the stamp set without the paper, and I hope I did good. I actually have a whole bunch more cards to show you that I also use the dies on. You don't have to buy the dies, you can just buy the stamp, and you can still do like 1,000 amazing things. And I just felt like this is one of, like, I love all of Stampin' Up stuff, but this one, it's like one of my favorite stamps, and I just felt like it deserved to be showcased again. So that's why I thought, oh, I'm going to use it again. Let's see, I'll stick that down there, and here we go. This is my mystery card. So I love that I did not plan in advance, and it still turned out pretty. So, let's see. Past the Windmill Ice Cream Place in Lake Nokomis. Yes, I have heard of it, but I've never been there. Actually, I want to say I was there once many years ago before I moved to where I'm at now. I think we went to dinner there once, and it was very good. So this is one of the cards that I made. I used the dies to cut out the butterflies, but I also stamped them in the background. And then this one, one of the other things I forgot to show you was I stamped the stamp and then I colored all the butterflies, and I did this like 3 times, so I ended up with I don't know, like 25 different butterflies and all different colors. And so these were some of the ones I colored that I added to the card. And then this is another one where I stamped it in the background, and then I just used one of those to color it. And same thing here, bunch of colorful butterflies. And oh, this is another one that I embossed, and I did So Saffron, Mango Melody, and then Cinnamon Cider for the ink colors. And then I think I may have posted these on my page, and these are ones that I did with sponging. So I embossed and then I sponged using the blending brushes, and so those turned out really nice. And so there's so many things that you can do with the stamp set, or just the stamp set and the dies. And I love all these cards. They made me so happy. And I got a whole nother stack over here. All of the butterfly cards. So, yeah. So did you guys like the format of the mystery card? We've done it in team meetings before, and that's where I got the idea. And a lot of times, like, my instructions will be to cut papers of a specific size. And so I'll have all the supplies, like, you know, this length of ribbon, this size paper, And then I'll have all the supplies ready so that we have our team meeting, and then we'll make the card, and then you're like, oh, this is what we're making. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know and we can do it again. So anyways, let's see. Oh, we're talking about the tilted loon still. Okay, sounds good. Yes. All right. So I believe that's all I have to show you. If anybody has any questions about anything, please let me know. Just send me a message. I have the last chance lists. I have one that I downloaded into Excel and I sorted it because I like to look at it I think the way that they do it is in page order in the catalog, but I like to look at it by stamp sets and then all the ribbons. So if you want something sorted like that and you need help, let me know. Otherwise, I think that's all I have for you. Thank you guys all for joining me tonight and watching like my first attempt at a mystery card. I hope you liked the card. I think it turned out great, so I'm happy. And if you have any questions on the supplies, I used the water painters. You get a 3-pack. And then I also used the Stampin' Spritzers. You get a 2-pack. And so they're very affordable tools that I feel like every crafter should have on hand. But that's basically what I used along with my sandwich bag and some ink pads to apply the ink. So it was very simple, very easy. And again, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I will be back here next Wednesday. Thank you guys. Have a good night.